Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, let's take a look at the collective message, and we shall see. Hopefully, we don't get the big long two-parter like we did yesterday. We start with the Emperor, though. I don't mind the two-parters, but it was a long one, that's for sure. Emperor, though, starts us out with somebody who would be in charge of their life, in charge of their choices, their thoughts, their emotions, their feelings. We do have an Aries energy. And I always think this cat looks irritated. We also have the moon. There's something that's hidden from the Emperor, and it almost feels like he's trying to figure out what it means, or he's trying to find the solution or find the answer. Let's see if we can figure out what is the moon depicting here. Let's go with a really blunt deck since we need to get an answer here. 8 of Wands. Either he can't figure out what somebody meant. He can't figure out, like, okay, was there a double entendre in their words? We have Wheel of Fortune. We have 5 of Swords. What's hidden seems to be either someone's motive or what they meant or what they said in that conversation or what they wanted to do. But it's time to figure it out. And in this case, it might be time in his mind, depending on whatever the outcome is, to let somebody go. If there's a hidden agenda, he doesn't like it. If even here, like, what's making the wheel spin is this hamster on the inside, and they didn't know it. Feels like he has a suspicion that there is a hidden agenda and he does not enjoy that, or he already knows that there's a hidden agenda and it's like, I can't see what it is. I only know that it's there. Ace of Swords. Ooh, he's going to get the bullseye. Okay, so hang on. Emperor, what are you looking at? What are you doing? High Priestess. His intuition is like off the charts. Is it that he wants to, like, leave somebody behind, somebody that he's like, I don't think this person's great, and I've sensed it for a while? I think we just got a message like this in the today's topic video for the 2nd. We have the Sun in the reverse. There is some element here of like subterfuge, and it's time that he sees the truth of the situation. The only reason I'm reading it that way instead of like something wonderful, because hidden things can be wonderful too. But this 5 of Swords, tell me about the 5 of Swords, because this is hostility, arguing, upset. 3 of Cups. It's kind of like he's suspecting that somebody has a third party. Justice, yeah. So something's unfair. This could be, he's suspecting that somebody has like an ulterior motive, or they're out spending money instead of going to work. This could be like, when a parent finds out that their kid has not been going to school or has not been using the money allocated for, whatever their schooling. They've been spending it on partying, taking trips, and not where they were supposed to be. And it's like, oh, no. We're not going to be funding that anymore because they've lost their privilege of the funding. Like it feels a little bit like that, like, because the Emperor can be Big Papa, Is this about a third party, though, or is this about somebody who's been 9 of Wands? And we see the boss standing here going, I said do this. You said you were going to, and then you completely ignored what I asked or what I said needed to be done. That 9 of Wands, though, is like wounded energy. It's the wounded warrior. Typically, it's just on this card we see like a bit of confrontation. Knight of Wands. I feel like somebody's been operating as if they were, I think someone's been taking advantage of the Emperor's empire. This could be masculine or feminine. This could be somebody, unfortunately, who's, they've discovered is like running game, or this is somebody that kind of has been really arrogant, possibly as well. Like oh, I have all this stuff, I have access to everything. Yes, but it belongs to the emperor. The only reason you have, the fancy, fancy car is maybe because of the emperor. The emperor's like, whoa, wait a second. You haven't been, helping, you haven't been contributing, you haven't been doing the things you were supposed to, but you're walking around like you own all of this. He's figuring out somebody has not been acting in good faith. 5 of Wands. It's kind of breaking his heart on one hand because I feel like you put a lot of trust in this person. Is this about romance? He's thought this for a while. 7 of Pentacles. He definitely thought this for a while. It's like he's finding out somebody doesn't have respect for him. And that's unfortunate because first off, this emperor is amazing. They're a real catch. But it always sucks when you find out that somebody is, doing like a flagrant disregard. And the moon, again, he had nightmares about it. He worried about it. He thought about it for a period of time. Like, I'm not sure that this person is on the up and up with me. I'm not sure that they're operating in good faith. I'm not sure that I can trust them. 2 of Pentacles. They somehow found out this could be about somebody spending their money. This could have been about business. This could have been, this could be a family member. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. You've been buying a house, living large, but it's off of the money from the business that I technically own and you worked for me. My money was not your money. Like, you got paid, but it wasn't, you shouldn't have had access to all of this and thought it was all yours. There's something here about going to the bank and finding out, like having to ask questions and discovering that we didn't like the answers once we got to the bank and found out about this. So it does, in this storyline, we have an emperor who is following a hunch and getting an answer that they don't like. They're not pleased about this. Emperor, what are you going to do about this now that you've discovered something that was like, dang it. So something's over. And it's like, yeah, I feel like instead of saying it broke my heart, I think that the emperor's like, I just am not putting any more energy into this. No more. This is super disappointing. My heart is not even here, not even a little blur there on the x-ray. I am ready to cut this person out of my life. I'm ready to wash my hands of this. 5 of Wands, Ace of Wands, and I'm going in a whole different direction. If this is somebody who disappointed this emperor, which by the way, this could have been a same-sex couple. We did have kind of like multiple cards that showed a lot of masculines, but we had feminines in here as well. And the emperor themselves shows up here as a very disappointed feminine, even though the first card out was the emperor, which was a strong masculine vibe. His intuition comes across as the feminine side. So just know, all characters have yin yang. So we could be dealing with any arrangement of zodiacs or genders here. It doesn't matter. But we see him pretty much just immediately cutting ties and saying, I'm done. And what I've learned out of this is this is kind of like shoe fly, I'm done. And now you got to go. There's no arguing. There's no extra like, okay, well, maybe we can still work it out. He's just ready to like start from scratch. Now, this could be him literally, like if this was about a romance or a relationship, this is him possibly doing something very dramatic, like moving to a different area, not talking to this person anymore. He might, he's just like dropping off the grid. He's just gone out of this person's life. I don't think that this person has access to them at all from this point forward. If this is about business, it's like, nope, it's all shut down. Their key card doesn't work anymore to gain access. They can't come back to the business. It's over. There's no conversation. There's no dialogue. It's just done. But then he turns his attention immediately to something else, to like, and this is a very emperor move, right? When you cut your losses because you realize somebody's not being true, then you turn your attention to, all right, that's what happened. But you know what? Life goes on. And there's other things, people, maybe I got to hire for this position now, got to start interviewing. But I'm excited. I think he's going to find something really, really wonderful. If this is about love, he may not be single very long. He might actually take a nice deep breath and be like, you know what? There is somebody I've been attracted to. There's something about inspiration or attraction, the chance to cultivate a whole new life with a whole new person. There could be a Virgo on his mind, someone that has, like he is vaguely kept in the back of his mind, somebody that he respects, somebody at a distance, somebody he hasn't interacted with much, but this person may pop into his mind. This is almost like his whole slate has just been cleared, because there is some acknowledgement that either the person he was with or somebody that he dealt with, they're not in his life anymore. He's moved on. And I think there is this kind of thrill of excitement that he gets to do things different. He gets to, like I said, hire a new position, or he's able to acknowledge in his mind that there's somebody that he's attracted to, somebody who seems to be very truthful. Now we have a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius vibe, but I kind of think that this is his energy. This is very thoughtful. He's thinking about some hermit, or he's saying, I'm going to stay by myself for a bit and be really thoughtful about what I'd like to create next. I can't help but think that this is somebody else who his mind turns to. There's somebody that inspires him. We've got the action of Pentacles. So he's kind of reflecting right now. Am I calm enough, soothed enough, healed enough to like approach something new? On one hand, he's inspired. I do feel like this is a flood of inspiration. You know, sometimes the things that don't go right in our lives and that are big disappointments, right? Anytime we find out something's not what we thought it was and we got to let it go, and then we got to start fresh and we got to kind of move in a new direction. Of course, it can be like sad, but an emperor goes, why would I cry over the fact that my life just got unencumbered and much better by recognizing who not to keep around? Somebody who's not really, on my team, not really there for me, doesn't really have my back. Better to let that go and be able to meet somebody else who would be, someone I could imagine building, a powerful empire with. And I just feel like there's a strong sense of attraction, inspiration, desire. This new beginning that he's having is extremely exciting, because I think he feels more intrigued, more drawn in, and more inspired. I mean, this new person could be like a muse for him. He is asking himself, though, am I ready to move in this direction in this moment? Or do I need, a little bit of time to just enjoy having my clean slate? I don't know, because we got that mastery of coins here. Now, this is actually a King of Pentacles with a Queen on it. I would say the answer to that is, I'm actually really balanced in my masculine and feminine energies. So I don't know that he has any waiting time. If anything, I think that him finding out something a little bit unpleasant that he already suspected, and then moving on from a situation or a person who was kind of using him for money. That's what I see here. Somebody was using him for money. It does look like it could have been a feminine or a business partner or somebody who had access to his money, whomever that was. That Justice card could have been a Libra feminine who was using him for money. We also have him coming across with that Death card, so some strong Scorpio. We also had the Wheel of Fortune as part of the big reveal. So we had some Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio there. We had the Leo in the reverse on the sun. We also had some Virgo, Pisces, and Cancer coming from that High Priestess for his intuition. And the moon a couple times, strong Pisces, again, for, what was hidden. So maybe it could have been a Pisces, could have been a Libra that he wasn't sure about. And then it became revealed like, yep, my intuition was spot on. But this other person that he's drawn to, let me ask a little bit more. Is it another person that he wants to go toward with that? Tell me about the Hermit. Is it him wanting to go solo, or is it him being drawn to somebody? Eight of Swords and the Hermit. It's both. He kind of is saying, hey, maybe I need to take a beat, catch my breath before I go out and try to go meet somebody else, so that I don't feel vulnerable. Like, do I feel vulnerable? Do I feel stupid, because I got played a little bit? Let me ask myself that. But damn, there's this person that feels like a spiritual match for me, that Hermit that I want to gravitate toward. It's interesting how, so we doubled down on that Hermit, strong Virgo. It's interesting how he's like doing a self-check, but then also Two of Swords. He doesn't want to approach anybody that he might still have like trust issues with, because he just did get out of something that was disappointing. Two of Pentacles, Ace of Coins. But his opinion is like, yeah, but the best way to like let go of a situation that wasn't truthful, wasn't kind, is to go out there and get connected to relationships, people that are truthful and kind, that balances the scales. Why would I not be excited to meet somebody who's going to be different, going to be, more trustworthy? That's my new beginning. So he's kind of two minds. He's of two minds, especially with double twos that we see there. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Emperor? Because I feel like Knight of Coins, I'm going to take it day by day. And if I feel like gravitating towards somebody new, maybe I'm not ready to hire somebody new, or maybe I'm not ready for new romance. This is starting to feel more romantic to me. He already has, I think, some Virgo on his mind. Someone who he's inspired by, somebody he wants to move toward, but he's trying not to rush it. Which makes sense. He wants to make sure that he's not rebounding. I don't think there's any worry of him. He's not a rebounder. That's just not who his character is. But you notice he's like, this is my like karaoke dragon over here. Dragons are associated with dreams. And this King of Cups is very emotionally available. He just wants to make sure that his emotions are genuinely happy as he gravitates toward this new person. So he's going to take it step by step. When it feels right, he'll ask that person out. I think he wants to be able to, just feel really emotionally comfortable, maybe loving somebody else. I feel like every single day he's going to realize that, man, I still have a chance to make my dreams come true. There's that hermit person who's kind of mysterious that I'd kind of like to get to know. What do you think? How do you know this hermit person? You feel like there's a spiritual match with the white stag. Ooh, 5 of Swords. There is some kindred spirit to that hermit person. He's aware that that person's gone through a massive, painful ending of their own. He may say, look at this 9 of Swords. You know what it feels like to get betrayed or heartbroken. I know you do. I've seen that in you. That's probably why I see you as somebody who kind of keeps to yourself. So no wonder he's drawn and attracted to that hermit person. He may want to heal that hermit person, as well as support that hermit person, as well as think that if there's any part of him that feels unhealed, it's like, I don't know. I feel like he sees the hermit as somebody that is kind of aloof, kind of out there on their own, been healing themselves from whatever they've gone through. Somebody did them wrong too. He knows that. So he must know a little bit more about that hermit person than he lets on. But they seem to be at a distance from him. By the way, I called him the hermit, but they could be the Aquarius star as well. They could be somebody that he thinks really highly of, but he knows that they've been through a rocky experience. But he's single and free. He could approach them if he wants to. He's just making sure that he's healed up. But I think every day he's happier. He's more emotionally like, God, the best thing that ever happened to me was finding out that somebody wasn't being truthful with me so I could let them go. So now I can turn my attention to this other kindred soul, someone who I know knows all about what heartbreak is. 7 of Wands, and knows how to work through struggles and problems. He's got a lot of strength to him though as well. The strength to carry on, to not be burdened by what happened, and to be ready to meet somebody new, somebody that he already admires, somebody that already thinks is a pretty kindred soul. We've got the Page of Coins. I think he's not too far away from reaching out and starting dialogue, conversation. This is the messenger. This is like, I really want to, could be like ask them out for a cup of coffee, but I don't see this emperor's not going to sit around and boohoo and cry over this. And you know what's amazing? This emperor is like so not still tangled up or involved with an ex like at all. This storyline feels like a continuation of that, the today's topic video for the 2nd. I'll make sure that one pops up on the screen, but this is eerily similar to me. It's like we've fleshed it out a little bit more, but same emperor as the lead character. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.